This is the current trans case debrief of Winnie. This case is a criminal case in the Ontario Court of Justice. The citation of the case is R. v. Young, 2016, ONCJ 636. On August 10, 2013, Rob Young returned to Canada from Singapore. His wife, Dembra Young, picked him up at the airport and drove back to their summer residence at Peterborough. During his travel, Rob Young took Stilnox, a sleeping pill that he obtained by prescription in Singapore. At around 10:30 p.m., Dembra and Rob arrived home, and their son, Chris Young, and his friends were there too. While socializing at the house, Rob, Dembra, Chris Young, and the guests all started drinking alcohol. Around midnight, Rob Young took another Stilnox pill. At around 2 a.m., Dembra and the guests went to bed, but Rob and Chris continued drinking and socializing. Around 3 a.m., they awakened Dembra with their noise. After several failed attempts to quiet them down, Dembra decided to leave the residence for the night. As she was getting ready to leave, she and Chris got into an argument that involved minor physical contact. Rob Young appeared and held a kitchen knife in his hand. Rob said to Chris, "You don't touch my wife. You don't hit my wife. You leave her alone." Then he stabbed Chris 6 times with a knife. Dembra Young phoned 911 immediately after the incident, and on the 911 tape, she can be heard saying, "Oh my God, Rob, what did you do?" And Rob Young responded, "This is not Chris." Soon, the police arrived at the residence and arrested Rob Young for second-degree murder. The question concerning this case is that, what is the appropriate sentence for Rob Young, considering the gravity of the offense and his degree of responsibility? And the decision that the court has arrived upon is that Rob Young will receive a suspended sentence with 3 years of probation and 240 hours of required community service. The rationale behind the decision. On the facts of this case, Rob Young voluntarily consumed alcohol and the Stilnox sleeping pills in combination. Under Section 33.1 of the Criminal Code, self-induced intoxication is not a proper defense to manslaughter. As a result, Rob Young's actions were criminal, as they were a marked departure from the standard of care generally recognized in our community and society. On the other hand, as the 911 phone tape and the lack of past conflict between the offender and the victim proved, Rob Young had no intention in killing his own son. The focus of the punishment, as a result, should be Rob Young's conduct to mix alcohol and the prescription drug, which ultimately led to his involuntary offense. There are precedent cases where decisions suggest conditional sentencing. One of those cases were R. v. Turcotte 48 OR 3D 970CA. On the facts, a son strangled his mother after mixing alcohol and sleeping medication. The son was found guilty of manslaughter after a trial. The son and the mother had previously had a very good relationship. There are some differences in the facts, but also some similarities to this case. The Ontario Court of Appeal upheld the trial judge's conditional sentencing of 2 years less a day. Similarly, the moral blameworthiness of Rob Young should also be at the lowest end of the sentencing range. Balancing the gravity of the offense and circumstance of the accused, the court will suspend Rob Young's sentence and impose the maximum term of probation with the maximum amount of community service hours. This case of Rob Young has attracted wide media attention across Ontario. Many news articles feature the case with misleading headlines like "No jail time for man who kills son," which left out the unique circumstance of the case in order to attract public attention. However, this case has demonstrated the flexibility of our law system and the meticulousness of the judge. The judge was able to identify the right focus of the conviction and understand the father from both a humane and objective perspective without the influence of the media and the public. Despite how the media wrongfully twists the case to attract attention, I believe the justice of this case has been delivered rightfully. The survey question. Do you agree that the judge's sentencing decision proportionally addressed the gravity of the offense and Rob Young's degree of responsibility in killing his son?